the Irithel Granger matchup in lane is a little bit more 50-50 now. I think over time, Grangers and Irithels just balance each other out because how they know how to duel against each other.
So from like 40-60, it's now 50-50.
Yeah,
like
I mean, if you still mess up at one point, the Irithel can just still remind the Granger why it was picked as the counter to Granger. But I don't think it'll happen in this matchup.
Yeah, the strafing and the overrun. The overruns that you can do with an Irithel.
Let's pick Gatot here. Please, not put. There's Arlott and Rome. Arlott into Fovis in EXP is tough, but you can pull it off. It's not impossible.
Is it Arlott Rome? It's Arlott Rome. Well, I'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow, Renmar. He's taking off his headset.
Renmar's running out of the street.
He's walking off the desk.
He's just walking off, literally, banging his head on the monitor. Oh my goodness.
Will this be different, Rob? I mean, hey, I will say the Jushin could end up being a really good quality pick, and again, maybe the Irithel is a little bit of a saving grace for this one too.
You gotta commend Omega. They're sticking with their guns.
You know what? I can commend that, yeah.
Yeah, sticking with their guns. I think they know they made something work in practice.
They have, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say there's a chance. I'm not saying this is impossible. I'm not hostile towards it.
You sound hostile towards it.
I am at peace.
People say it. I wanna keep the peace.
I want to keep the peace.
Save my mental health.
Yes. I'm in my peace.
All right, let's see. Maybe Omega can kind of just take something out of the hat here.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
But that's going to be a tough call for it, sure. TLPH still looking hot on this draft.
Oh, wow. Oh, whoa, Netsky.
Wow.
You see what I mean by Oheb, man? Like, he does this every single time.
Yeah, he plays around the first set of the Rhapsody. Makes the most out of it every time. So Netsky went for the Fatal and the Master Assassin. Well, it's Rupture and the Festival of Blood for the Granger.
Ooh, okay. So dueling is going to look good. They're looking at the win rates here for these heroes. Carl TC is still respectable 80% win rate on his Lancelot so far.
Yeah. 6 wins and 2 losses. I wonder if this Arlott Rome was inspired in part by Onyx. Since Kirk played the Arlott Rome, but he was playing it as if he was the roamer.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. But that was the thing. Even though he was playing it like that, like they just worked really well between Kirk and Brusco. The way that transition happened.
Yeah.
Throughout the game itself, and I feel like that's one of the difficult things here, like for Super Yoshi in general. It's like, again, if he has to defensively burn a flicker, you take away a big portion of what makes the Arlott so scary, you know?
And the big difference with that matchup or that duo as well is the years of bonding and synergy that they've built up on that. So again, compared to like how long Omega has played together, it's a big diff.
Yeah. Also have to acknowledge Janford having a tough time in lane against this Esmeralda, understandably so. One of the toughest lane matchups for Rafovius is an Esmeralda.
Can't shield it out.
And then you're seeing also that Haji on this Jushin, maybe the reason why the Arlott had a difficult time in the last game was because of the presence of the Jushin. With the Jushin and Glue both gone now, it's a little bit easier for Omega to do what they want to do around this Arlott Rome.
Omega's pushing in.
Looks like they're going to be able to get this first turtle. That's great for Omega, so Ryzen will get the objective, nothing much left. Also in the gold lane, Netsky going 1v1 with Oheb.
Netsky looking better. A lot better.
Doing a good job. Again, hopefully Oheb is acknowledging that there is a Master Assassin on that Irithel, that this might not be another clear-cut win. Level 1 maybe, but they're both level 4 already. Could be tough.
Forcing a flicker out is huge against Sanji here. Doesn't even have the Feathered Airstrike. So Omega definitely doing something different in this game.
Yeah, Haji's a whole level ahead of Sanji as he just hits level 4. So that's how much zoning potential you get with the Jushin on your side.
Yeah, and all the crowd control they have in the center of the map. That's the idea that they're latching on. We have so much crowd control that Team Liquid Philippines won't be able to execute as well as they did in the previous game, especially JP, who is, he'll be the victim of majority of that crowd control. He's just trying to get vision, but then he's just going to get stopped. And then at one point, he's going to have to throw his Revitalize, which in the question is Sanford close enough to take the role of being the frontliner the pseudo roamer for the team. Is he going to be ready? In this portion of the game, probably not. So Omega can ride this into a comfortable lead heading into Lord 1. Because that's how long it's going to take. I think Oheb was able to get that.
Yeah, he's going to need everything he can. It feels like Netsky is poised to actually dominate him in that lane. So, and again, Sanford just can't really join these team fights quite yet, lest he be left behind one wave at a time.
Yeah, you can see there, he's neck and neck right now with Netsky in terms of gold and farm. And right now, TLPH is kind of taking their time. This is good for Omega, though. They go ahead and play with this ability to maintain the early game tempo. Not having it lose out of track like they did in game 1 is going to be the best case scenario, because then that gives space also for Netsky to go ahead and build up on this Irithyll. And that mobility, that extra mobility with an Irithyll should help them in this lineup too.
Whoa. Good read by Super Yoshi. He read the rotation of Carl Teasy, so Omega has information. And they even forced the regen out of him because Super Yoshi dealt a bit of damage to Carl.
4v4.
Is he going to go for it? Sanford taking a ton of distraction here. Feathered Airstrike already dropped down too. Omega just fighting for the space around the second turtle of the game. Oheb's going to make his way up to join this fight. And to follow is Netsky as he just picks up the Haas Claws. This is going to be one to break out. Again, playing around this dangerous grass. James will spot him out. He's going to get
big dive.
Oh, he's in trouble too. Turtle secured by Ryzen. Netsky takes out Carl Teasy, but Sanji firing up from the back alongside Oheb. They're going to force Omega back, but they're so tanky too. They can't capitalize the kill just yet, but now finally Super Yoshi goes down, but so does JP. Omega picking up some more. Sanford trying to get away in Fertile Pursuit. There's the Feathered Airstrike. Again, they're going to go for Netsky. Sanji cleans up a kill. Maybe Omega should have backed off.
Yeah, Omega got greedy, clearly, and since Sanji was able to hold the bush, he found the perfect spot to use the Feathered Airstrike. Great turnaround by Liquid, but Omega got acknowledged all their crowd control. They're timing things very well. I thought Super Yoshi would use a final slash in that portion of the fight for the turtle wherein 4 members of Team Liquid were all standing right on pretty much the same area. Could have been susceptible to a final slash, but Super Yoshi decided to save it for when the Retribution battle was happening, so Ryzen was able to win the Retri. But yeah, Omega should have backed off there. They were already winning that trade and that sequence.
Yeah, a lot of respect. Omega was winning, and they didn't back off. The result, Feathered Airstrike went back on cooldown.
Oh, Super Yoshi, no, he's gonna get stunned. Glorious Pathway dropped down, but he uses the final slash anyway. Oheb's in trouble, trying to get out of the turret. A good beacon play, a crash down from Omega. Super Yoshi still gets away with his life, and now JP dragged back. He'll escape with 1 HP. A great play from Omega. I thought Super Yoshi was done for.
I thought so too. I thought that was going to be like a free man wipeout right there. But that was as clean as it could get. Again, they held on. Super Yoshi, we thought he was going to die, but he was able to really time it, and the angle was perfect.
Yeah, wrong place at the wrong time as well for Liquid. Before that happened, I think they decided to just make the call of going into the lane because there were other members of Omega coming in from the river as well. So they were in the middle of an Omega sandwich.
The fullback call was just exactly what Omega predicted. So they got the results they wanted, and I can't blame him. Omega was reeling from that, like, just that loss, right? That turtle loss.
Yeah.
So James should be able to get away from this. Has the shielding, a beacon's going to be used. Haji to zone him out. Glorious Pathway dropped down. Sanford and Carl will get out of there.
Yoshi.
But a Feathered Airstrike's going to be dropped down. Super Yoshi finds a final slash on 2, but he's all by himself. He gets cut off from the team as Oheb picks up the kill. But now Sanford quite low. He's got to disengage alongside Carl Teasy. Even down a member,
Maybe.
Omega.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have gone for the flashy play, Super Yoshi.
Oh, they're going to force the fight anyway. James, Phantom Execution. He'll flicker on out. A sliver of HP, but it's Ryzen that goes down instead.
Megas. That's another sequence where I'm thinking they should have just backed. Just backed
Again,
off just a little bit.
Maybe you could have backed off, man.
Yeah, well, but fantastic recovery by Team Liquid. So the kill onto Super Yoshi, when he was able to get the final slash onto Oheb and Sanji in an earlier sequence, actually gave Oheb a Sky Piercer stack. Now he has 2. And now Omega need to be a little bit more careful now for those moments of them deciding whether or not they're going to engage or just back off.
Trying to give away too much here. Again, Super Yoshi, that looked really good. He got 4 people on that final slash, but no one to follow up. So a little bit of a miscomm as well for the Barangay.
Yeah, it also looked like the final slash, though it was able to interrupt the Feathered Airstrike. came at a time where the rest of Omega were still getting pushed back by the Phovius.
That's what Sanford's been doing really well throughout this game. As much as he's had a difficult time in the laning phase against an Esmeralda from James, he's done good in the team fights. You know, zoning out potential, catching the people with the Dark Wave and Infernal Pursuing in the face of 2 or 3 Omega members is all he has to do. Yeah, so this is where we have to start to see if Netsky can actually turn the tide, if he's got enough damage.
Falling Star Moon here. Again, Sanford is pretty close by. I think a big fight could erupt soon. But Omega decides to, you know what, we don't need to. Maybe we've been a bit too hot on our tails here. Yeah. And maybe slow down and maybe just, you know, read the room a little bit better. So they're doing that. And they're maybe they don't want to get anyone get picked off before the next Lord, which is going to be pretty crucial here as well. Yeah. They might lose a lot of turrets if that happens.
Ooh, all right. What are we going to go to next? I think they're just going to be both fighting the objective. Omega might want to consider pushing up top, which is what Team Liquid is also thinking, that Omega would want the advantage there. So they're sending Oheb and Sanford to help cover him. Carl TC as well if ever something breaks off. With that cleared up top, I think it's going to be a full-on 5v5 for this next Lord.
Looks like it.
I want to see who wants to leverage playing around the mid first. Seems like it's Sanji. At a perfect angle. Oh, good. Good thing he was able to wings out.
No Super Yoshi there as well.
Look at the placement
he's
here.
right behind here.
Oh, he will get spotted out. But this is one of the things about Dangerous Grass. You can play into this with the objectives. A little extra bush behind the Lord is a great spot for either roamer to be, really.
Yep. So much vision provided. And it's an extra avenue for you to find a flank angle a little bit more safely because you're playing around bushes.
Oh.
All right. That's a safe feathered airstrike. Carl TZ doing a quick temp check. Yeah. Gauging where everyone is.
Yeah, since Haji did go for the Clock of Destiny, it's not going to be as easy to take this Juicing down.
Oh, whoa.
What?
Whoa. I don't know if he had any information that Super Yoshi...
That was a guess, right?
That had to be because... which is interesting because they could have checked that bush.
What the hell?
Yeah. I'm not really sure because he burned the flicker to make it happen. So that's definitely a miscomm there.
Not good. I mean, he does get his ultimate back very quickly, but now without a flicker.
Yeah.
Are you expecting Sanji to be there or something?
Maybe.
That doesn't feel good though. It doesn't feel good at all. Now we're gonna go into this team fight with some resources burned.
Yeah, they know they've got a feathered airstrike here too.
Yeah, they're very aware. TLPH was front seat when all that happened as well.
Yeah, I think Sanji accidentally walked out of that bush. Or, okay, they're trying to dance. They're forcing movement. So now they tried out the control. Sanji showed himself. Omega decided to go hug a little bit closer to the bush in the back, which means that they open up the avenue for Sanji to go up top. JP goes back to hold the beard bush.
Oh, 4v5.
Yeah, they know Sanji's there. He's going to make his way with the wings by wings. Lord is half health. Super Yoshi's got the final slash again. They're going to force it. They're going to go for it. Ryzen gets the Lord, but the fight's going to break out. Nesky gets some distance. Heavy crossbows out, pops the sprint as well.
Look at that.
And TLPH, they're just going to go for this tier 1 turret. Falling Star Moon from James. He's dealing with a ton of damage. Can't get away. Oheb picking up another kill and a stack. But they maintain the tier 1 mid turret, at least for now.
Yeah, they had to throw James to make that happen. So that's, I guess you could say that's worth, but the pressure's still mounting here. TLPH could actually push in.
Yeah. With a minion wave, easy take. Haji now has a Sky Piercer as well. Not the first stack though, so now Liquid will have to just try to clean things up. That was a good push by Omega into that Lord fight, and it was just tough for Carl TC. He was able to get it in range, but it was a well-timed use of the Appraiser's Wrath plus Retribution so that Ryzen would secure it.
And the big improvement as well, they backed off the moment that they got the objective, so no casualties except for James on that mid. Carl TC though, hugely aggressive movements. I think he wants to get some kills going on here. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the meantime. We're gonna reset.
Yeah, Carl's he likes to do that on Lancelot. You know, even if it's for his buff or just to possibly start a fight, he'll go ahead
catch
and
someone on the bush.
Yeah, jump a little forward if he has to.
Yeah, so far I would say that Omega definitely have learned, like they've adapted on the fly here. What TLPH has been doing for the past few minutes and like the past game honestly.
Yeah.
And their tempo is a lot better here.
Okay. 2 blade armors on the side of Team Liquid, both frontliners.
Oh, he's going for Netsky. Glorious Pathways drop down 2. Feathered Airstrike will find the mark. Netsky's gone. So Smart Omega losing a ton of damage now that Netsky's out of the way. JP still leading the charge. They want more. James trying to cut them off. Ryzen falls. Another stack for Oheb. Looking for more in the mid lane. They're going to go for it. Super Yoshi in trouble.
Oh!
Double for Oheb again. Another stack. Omega falls apart in the mid lane. And now the tier 2 going to be taken here by TLPH. Sanji is the only one gone. They want to get more pressure on the base here of Smart Omega. Flicker forward from Sanford going for Haji. And a Phantom Execution will help clean it up. Wow. James left to his own. Netsky's back up though. So they maintain the base turret, but man, what a switch for TLPH.
Oh yeah, great lockdown. So Carl Teasy starting things off with that kill onto Netsky. Of course, that was capped off by the feathered airstrike of Sanji. And Carl Teasy almost got taken out there because...
That was close.
Yeah, that was very close because Ryzen was maximizing his crowd control into Fredrin with a slight knock-up and the taunt as well to try and save Netsky. But you can't crowd control a feathered airstrike. And the hit of the feathered airstrike, I know that the Farsa can get crowd control. Just making it clear, because I know some people in online are like that.
Disclaimer.
So great Dragon Spear. Netsky could have gotten away from it, but yeah, can't outrun it at that point. So he does have the items for him, but the problem for Omega now is, well, you have a jungler on the other side who's an assassin, not afraid to, if he finds the play, will go after that Irithel. But then you also now have a Granger who has hella stacks on the Skypiercer.
Man, that knock-up from the Lord there.
That did some damage, honestly.
Yep. Oh, Final Slash going to be used. It's on Sanford. But again, Feathered Airstrike dropped down. JP running forward. He's going to get dragged back with the Lantern, and Carl Teasy sees the open space. He's going for Netsky. He's dealing with a ton of damage, but he does find him, but ultimately goes down himself. TLPH without a jungler.
Yoshi!
A Final Slash going to be used. Oheb has to get distance with the flicker. And now Ryzen, do they make the call to go for the Lord?
That was a decent catch. Wow.
Yeah, great call. Committed the flicker for that as well. Final Slash to surprise him. Good thing though that there were members of Liquid around Oheb to keep him safe and alive, but that was a great attempt by Super Yoshi. Blade of Despair now built up by Oheb, and Omega is going to start even feeling more damage coming out from this Granger. But I see a timeline, a canon event wherein Omega could force this into game number 3, but they need to keep Netsky alive.
Yeah, that trade on Carl Teasy, again, will only slow down their Lord attack, but overall the damage is just removed if Netsky falls.
Part of this too is even if Carl Teasy goes down, I feel like you're almost in this headspace for Smart Omega to protect Netsky that Oheb isn't even a target for them. Oheb's able to mostly just kind of move around. Yeah, he had to burn the flicker in the previous fight, but that might be the case for James. James has to be able to catch him, or maybe a Super Yoshi if that flicker is available. But they'll fight for this Lord. It's going to be up. JP will drop down the Glorious Pathway. He wants to go ahead and zone out Ryzen for this as they try to blitz this Lord. A Feathered Airstrike drop down too. They're all scattered, but Carl Teasy will be able to get the Lord, and maybe at the cost of JP.
He's doing
Final Slash, but finally goes down.
Oh, James.
And now James all left to his own. Is he waiting for the rest of the team? He flickers out. Carl and Sanford, they're going to be jumping in. Ryzen left to his own. Oheb gets another kill, another stack.
It's so good, man. That was just so good.
Yeah.
JP did a lot of zoning in that last one.
Yeah, Omega are playing this as really well as they could, but Team Liquid Philippines are just showing off their chemistry, their championship pedigree. They are making great decisions individually and as a team. I didn't expect Sanford to jump back onto the heads of Omega, but that call from that Phobius to jump back in, to re-engage it, to fight it out, led to another stack for Oheb.
It took Omega by surprise, but look at that.
There's a jump
You're going
in.
to lose so much because of that.
Mid turret goes down. Carl making his way for Netsky right for him. Sanford jumping into Dark Wave use. He has to pop the heavy crossbow to get out of range. The bottom turret's going to fall. Ryzen's back up, and the Lord has been cleared out. Is that all TLPH gets? They have one turret left to take from Omega, but they will defend.
That was good target prioritization, by the way, for TL. You can see them all just eyeing on Netsky.
Oh, it's going to be a tough climb back for Omega, even though Netsky is saving the crossbow, the heavy crossbow at the right time. The range by the Farsa, the fact that it's not a clear path to get to the Farsa of Sanji means that Omega are always playing at a disadvantage because they have one member of Liquid that they cannot reach, and that it's dealing so much damage from afar. Sorry, make that two. Even Oheb is part of that equation.
Yeah, I can't imagine how easy it will be for Netsuki to free hit as long as Sanji is alive. So maybe that's next on Super Yoshi's hit list, right? Can we remove Sanji before he does any damage, or maybe cancel the feathered airstrike, so that Netsuki can get stuff done?
Yeah, he hasn't been able to really like jump into those fights more like offensively.
Decisively,
a lot of them have been defensive just because of the pressure. And again, part of that is what Carl Tizzi's doing. He's a big thorn in the side, literally that thorn rose in the side of Netsuki, man. Like, he's going right for him to the back line, even if they're in the base. So that pressure alone is forcing Netsuki to either pop the sprint or he's got to win to nature now. So that might actually change how some of those fights go if he's able to go ahead and be protected as well.
But that's the thing. It's been happening with turrets alive. What more now, where there's basically no one to stop Carl Tizzi, rather slow him down.
Okay, look at the item build of Sanji. Last two items built solely for the cooldown reduction. Doesn't have, well, and the self-regen as well. Doesn't have the immortality. Let's see if he'll build it a little bit later. Once he has the gold and once the cooldown is off of the passive of that, Carl Tizzi now full built. It's the fighter style of Lancelot. He doesn't have an immortality on him as well, so he's all just maximizing it. So you see the players right now, they're buying and selling the immortality. If they don't have it, they might buy it later in the sequence. But for now, they just want to maximize the damage and crowd control.
Okay, this Lord is up.
This Lord is up. I think we could see something get started here. Sanford very confident this time around to go up front and get stuff done, get it started with that Dark Wave. So even players like Haji, players like Super Yoshi aren't really safe against TL. And they're looking, again, on the map. If you look at the map, Carl Tizzi just splitting like crazy too.
Yeah, Netsuki down there. Super Yoshi was with him for some protection, but also to possibly make a set. But TLPH will just go ahead and take their time with this one. And we'll see if Omega gets the upper hand. Like, they've got the tools to do it. Even if they're down by 7,000 gold, they've got these tools to be able to set things up in their favor. One great set could potentially dissipate the 7,000 gold that TLPH has right now.
Yeah. Where's the set going to come from? Is it going to be Falling Star Moon? Is it going to be a combo for Super Yoshi?
Oh, they're just going to focus Ryzen!
Ryzen!
Ryzen's all by himself, and they just blitz down Ryzen.
No.
They saw that Omega was down bot, and they said, you know what? Just take out the jungler of Omega.
That's a massive miscomm there by Omega. Ryzen just gets blasted, and there's no way they get this Lord.
They still will go ahead and at least be in position, but it's just going to be a retribution from Carl Tizzi as he secures the Lord here. Now what do they do? Sanford flickers forward. They want to go ahead and catch Haji. Haji will take a couple feathered airstrikes. Netsuki dropping down with a heavy crossbow. He's firing back. He's trying to help defend. They already used some resources to stay alive. The flickers are down, and they have to deal with the Lord marching in mid.
So when Haji got caught out, he quickly got immortality. And we saw there, Team Liquid Philippines, Carl Tizzi, in the middle of that sequence, got the immortality. So you see the buying and selling mid-team fight. Once they know that they might actually lose that team fight, they buy immortality in the middle of it all.
From the back.
Super Yoshi, final slash spawn 3! A huge one on TLPH, and Netsuki finally gets to unleash. That's the setup we needed from Super Yoshi, and he finally got it. Half health on the turret, on the base turret of Omega, but man, what a turnaround.
The funny thing is, he walked by Carl Tizzi to do that. That was crazy. We need a super slow-mo for that.
Was it not called? Was it not shared? The Arlot was there. Yoshi!
Oh my god.
Keeps Omega alive, this Arlot pick. Finally, showing up with the impact that we were looking for in the previous game, now felt in big fashion. Liquid. Yep.
A minute ago. Oh my goodness.
And that wasn't even a Team Liquid error. That isn't one of those scenarios where you could say that was Team Liquid's fault. Maybe you could say Sanford diving a little bit too, being a little bit too eager to try and kill Haji up top.
Yeah.
They did eventually get the tower through there, but them losing Sanford hurt them more.
I would say that was an autopilot move because they were gunning, they wanted to finish it, they were setting up for a finish, right? And you don't expect an want Irefel to come from behind, I guess, right?
It's also one of they were waiting in that dangerous bush where Netsky is now. Like that was the angle they came from using that conceal. Yeah, that bush there. So again, utilizing this map, the dangerous grass that we have now. But that's the question: was that enough to go ahead and make it a much better 50-50 or maybe even better odds for the next Lord?
They got the Lord. They got the gold advantage now.
Yeah, it's definitely a 50-50. Let's see if Omega, quick recovery for them.
That's huge.
Believe what I'm seeing.
24-minute game, by the way.
Liquid need to sharpen up, and they need to respect the fact that their lead is gone. If they slip up again, if they don't watch their positioning together as a team, if they overcommit when they do not need to, Omega will punish.
Oh, what are they going to do here? Oh, they see Netsky and Super Yoshi.
They see him.
They're just going to go for Super Yoshi. He pops the flicker.
Boy.
Pathway drop down. Super Yoshi re-engages with Vengeance and the final slash. Oheb joining the fight. He's zoning out Haji the best he can.
Yoshi.
He's still got the immortality. It's going to be popped. What do they do here? Do they save him? No. Super Yoshi's gone. A decision from TLPH, and now they have the numbers advantage.
I mean, they were trying as much as they can to go. They saw it coming from a mile away. But it was just not enough. The glorious pathway, you can't outrun that.
Yeah, you saw JP laughing and smiling there. It feels like, oh, we got you back for what you did to us.
Well, Ryzen's still up. They're going to force the fight anyway. A Dark Wave flicker, feathered airstrike, immortality on Ryzen. They just want to take out the jungler. He pops the Winter Crown, but it's going to be a kill for Oheb. And now Haji, James, and Netsky running for their lives. Netsky has the damage. He pops the Wind of Nature, but it's just overloaded as Netsky's gone. And TLPH gets it back as they clean up James. Only Haji against the full force of Team Liquid, all picking up Winter Crowns. They're just gonna go for the win here. Haji doing what he can. They drop down the pathway. They've got a couple of minions here. They'll lock down on the base. Winter Crown in front of Haji, and they will take the series.